Good morning. It's day 103 of the Outside Free Challenge. I'm running out of water, so I have to go take a hike to the water source and load up. I only fill up the bladders. I don't actually carry these. What I'll do is I'll get these and fill them up during a main resupply and then stash them. But this is it. This is the end. I think this is the end of about 6 gallons that I had. And on a good day, I'll get away with using about 1 gallon of water a day. But sometimes I'll do laundry. I can wash about like a shirt or something with about a half a gallon of water. And when I say I wash a half a gallon with a half a gallon, I use the term wash loosely or clean loosely. I didn't even say clean. Still working on this one. How you doing? Yeah, I used to do these live streams all the time, especially with Chad Ventures. And yeah, I'd say for a while the bulk of the content on this channel was from a live stream. Wow, this shoe looks really big. Here we go. If we move it, I'll move it over here. Well, I have once again suffered the consequences of walking in these. Not even hiking, but just walking around in these. Yesterday a stick jabbed me in the side of the foot. Yeah, put a little, just a scrape, not a big deal, but I love these things, but my feet are getting, hurt. Every day I stub my toe or something with these. So I got my Solomons back and put them back. Oh, there's Rocco. And I'm not exactly happy with these either because they're Gore-Tex and it's summer and these don't really breathe very well. So I think what's going to have to happen is I'm going to wind up having to carry one or the other, or just commit to wearing these. So I got the permit for my hike that I'm doing in the Sierras. I'll be going through Desolation Wilderness and coming up out of northern Tahoe, the Truckee area. Or I'll cut out just a little early and leave from the what's called the Granite Chief Wilderness Trail, which again drops you off in northern Tahoe. So that's about a 4 or 5 day hike. And been trying to get away with doing it much earlier, but yeah, I've come across various challenges. Everything from physical challenges to logistics. Well, it certainly is summer. We're getting, it's kind of like during the holidays. There's a saying that during the holidays, all the amateurs come out. Yeah, I think that would be a good saying to apply to the wilderness during the summer, especially now, August. Yeah, all the amateurs come out. So I'm delaying. I'm not going to say exactly when. You'll know because I'll be covering it. But yeah, it's coming up though. We're just waiting for amateur hour to pass, and then we're going to go out during what's known as the prime time for hiking the Sierras. So dare I say I'm excited? Dare I? You know, at my age, you're not allowed to get excited. Getting excited usually is accompanied by a hospital visit or something. I have to get water today. The water run. What's nice about the water run is the water run usually coincides with doing some laundry and maybe even doing some, taking a little bath or something of that nature. So the last live stream with Wayne, that was really fun. He's missing his calling. I think he's really funny. You know, I don't catch all of his little one-liners, so getting him on video and then watching the video is just cracking me up. Yeah, good one. Thank you, Wayne. All right, I'll see you next week, I guess, right? Well, I decided to do this live thing just because it's way easier than any other thing that you can do on YouTube. Like, I think doing a live stream is easier than doing shorts. It's easier than, you know, posting a video. It's just record, stop, record, boom. So I really like that. Yeah. Although I should probably announce that I'm going to be doing a live stream if I expect anybody. But, you know, I don't think that that's all that necessary. I mean, I'm just using the live stream in order to just record what I'm doing. Yeah. Is that so wrong? All right. If you notice, I got my bug tent out. These are great, man. These are like 11 ounces. And sometimes the bugs get a little out of hand. And it's nice to have this. So if you're up higher in elevation, then you can kind of leave this behind. Although I'm still on the fence about using ultralight. And I think that's what I can talk about as I'm, unless if anyone has any questions, anyone shows up, has questions, yeah, I'll be happy to address them. Yeah, on the fence about the ultralight, particularly for this up and coming trip, up and coming hike trip. Trippy hike? Probably. Yeah, ultralighting. I think what I really want to say about ultralighting is that if you're serious about wilderness travel, then I think that it's really good to not just know how to ultralight, but to actually do ultralighting and really figure out and dial in how little you need. However, I don't think that it's wise to commit to ultralighting in a lot of hiking instances, simply because you're not carrying enough gear for certain things that are just bound to happen, right? If you get lost, you're going to need extra food. You'll need to carry extra water, especially if you come across a water source. Your first aid kit should be a little bit more complex than a Band-Aid and some aspirin. A little bit more than that. Yeah, getting my foot jabbed wearing these yesterday was proof of that. So essentially what I'm saying is for ultralighting is usually when you want to get through an area relatively quickly so you can get to your next resupply area, which is town. I don't think ultralight, works very well if you are trying to stay away from towns, right? Obvious. However, I think knowing how to ultralight is critical. Doing ultralighting is critical, because then it helps you to use that philosophy for your standard packing. You still want the lightest pack as possible. The more gear that you can carry, but the less weight, which is sort of somewhat of an oxymoron. The more gear that you can carry, but the less weight you can carry, the better your hike is going to be. The easier it's going to be on your body. You don't get tired as quickly. Yes, you can move about. I'm going to finish this before it gets cold. Oh, there's the woodpecker. You'll probably start hearing the woodpecker soon. Oh, it's jumping around. It's a black and white one, like the standard woodpecker. Black and white, white head, black body. Ooh, I think there's a couple of them. Yeah. I don't think I'll be able to. Would I? I won't risk it. I was going to try to turn the camera around and have you see, but I can hardly even see with my, yeah, I think they're behind the tree now. Yeah, ultralighting. Very, very good to know. But probably what's even more important is know when to and when not to ultralight. I mean, it's become somewhat of a fad, right? But with new materials, they're able to make lighter and or stronger gear, which we get to benefit from. And ultralighting doesn't have to be about the exact ounces or pounds. It could just be about getting the lightest thing that you have. In other words, you don't have to be like me. What I did this summer was really try to invest in a lot of new gear. But this is a big commitment for me. This is something I've been doing for a long time. So it's very much justified. But I could have just as well gotten along with the gear that I have, or picking up gear at a thrift store or something. Yeah. A lot of places like churches and whatnot even donate gear, clothing. So it would have just as easily, I could have just as easily been able to do what I'm doing with that. However, I think the term hobby comes well into play here too, because the hobby of trying to lighten your load is quite addictive, right? You get the scales out and you just weigh every little thing, and you scrutinize if carrying that weight is worth. Like, I have a lighter, and this is a relatively huge lighter. It's like the size of my finger, right? Can you see it? There we go. There are lighters that are half this size. However, this is well worth its weight because you can fill it up. Yeah, you can refill it, which makes it way cheaper. And you can even replace the flint on it, which is really cool. One of the best lighters I've owned. So having this lighter and its functionality, it's earned its weight. Or you have a spoon. This was a spoon on one end and a fork on the other. Well, we don't need forks. So I just cut off the fork end. And now this is super light and super strong. Withstands heat and whatnot. A lot of the plastic spoons that you get, disposable plastic spoons, are really, they melt and stuff. Yeah. Oh, you'll notice for my luxurious base camp coffee making, I'm using this MSR. What the heck is this called? Pocket Rocket. Yeah, I think this is like first gen Pocket Rocket. And yeah, Well, it's debatable as to if I carry this or not. I'll probably carry it. Yeah. And why not replace it? Well, this is an adjustable flame, and it's working really well in conserving fuel. So it's not like the, what is it, the BRS 3000 or whatever the common one is. Yeah, the fuel consumption and the ability to turn the flame, adjust the flame, is huge. So I could use a, less than 1 ounce alcohol stove, but they're dangerous. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really think I'll be going back to using that. I might as well just cold soak, right? So yeah, the idea, and every day, I think the thing is, at least for me, I want to be, I want to just have a pack, and then that's the pack. I don't have to think about it. But that's not really very realistic. Every day you want to decide, okay, what do I need to do today? Where am I going today? What's the weather going to be like, et cetera, et cetera. And then pack accordingly. I mean, it makes sense, right? But there is this thing where you just want to have everything and not have to think about it. And yeah, that's not very reasonable. But who's reasonable? But this, I have to pack this up. Yeah, the amateurs are out today. Man, making. What happens is they use their ATVs and whatnot to get out here, and they swear that they're the only ones out here. Man, this past few days have been nothing, but I haven't done any videos or anything, mostly because I haven't been able to get any sleep. It's just been so loud out in the wilderness. I guess there's no such thing as noise pollution anymore. My God. Yeah, I think people are like bringing PA systems out and doing karaoke till 4 in the morning. Cuckoo. It's so crazy, folks. Yeah. And of course, if they're doing noise pollution, the other pollution. Yeah, they're just, it's a mess. Wow. So, when all of this settles down, I'll usually get a couple garbage bags and just clean up as much as I can. God. And it's a good thing to do too if you're hiking, and you bring a garbage bag. Try to pick stuff up, especially towards the end of the season when we're like the last ones out before the snow starts to hit. Yeah, I think it's a good thing to pay it forward. Pick up some trash. The wilderness areas are really getting flooded, and at the same time, budgets for having rangers and trash, whatnot, they're short-handed, I guess. Yeah. Okay. I have a funny feeling that if I don't end this and if I don't end this stream, I'm never going to pack up. Let me see if I can pack up and do this live stream. Are there any? There we go. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing any chats. Oh yeah, that feels good. Yeah, I saw a video the other day of exercises that you do from a sitting position. I mean, I've been doing that sort of thing in martial arts and jiu-jitsu for years, but yeah, boy, people can extract all kinds of wonderful things. But yeah, boom, I like that. Boom. If you do jiu-jitsu and you're familiar with that, let me know in the chat what that is. Yeah, there's a name for this, right? Bam. There's a name. Let me know. If you know, you know. All right. I gotta stop this monkeying around. So we talked about, boy, these are going to be actually pretty good, informative, informal, yet informative live streams. I did what's called a loadout of my ultralight setup. Now I'm going to do a pack. My standard pack weight right now is about 17 pounds, which is about 10 pounds more than my ultralight setup, which was 7.3 pounds, right? But this is standard pack. Again, being weight nutty, but a PCTer asked me when I was hiking last month, says, what's your pack weight? And I said, it's anywhere between 8 to 10 pounds. And he said, that's the right answer. So, yeah, it fluctuates. Your base weight's going to fluctuate. And, of course, your overall pack weight is going to fluctuate as you eat food and consume the various things, the various consumables. So I am back to using the ULA circuit. It's about 2.5 pound pack. Yeah, ultralighting is like jazz. You might not like jazz, but maybe for one reason or another you learn jazz. And once you learn the jazz, man, it's hard to not do the jazz. So same thing with ultralighting. Once you're hip to ultralighting, it's hard not to think in those terms, even if you're not ultralighting. So I think that's what is meant by ultralighting, not necessarily being about weight, but more about gear selection. I mean, it's still about the weight, but 15 pounds, 17 pounds, and that's max. Once you get into it, you start not being able to get above a certain base weight, right? So let's see. This is how we're going to do this one. This is what's called an explosion. So I am going to use the same methodology, of course, I use in ultralight packing. All right, I'm not going to be carrying maps Although, yes, I am. I am going to carry maps. I think today's concept... Yeah, so anyway, today you're going to get to see me pack a standard pack, which is more like what regular backpackers would do, right? Standard backpack. Empty the main chamber. Yes, this is what I learned at Knowles back in the 80s, 1980 or something like that. 80, 81. Now, I still use my CCF. CCF is closed cell foam. And I'm using 3 CCF pads. That's crazy. But it's probably still lighter than one big, thick CCF pad. What I like about having multiple CCF pads is you can adjust how many, how much you're going to carry. Maybe you're going to just rough it and do a small 1/8 inch pad. Because the ground is going to be soft. Or you can add another one. And raise the comfort level as well as the insulation level from the ground. And even though this pack has full suspension, it's all padded right on the back already. I still just sort of set it up the same way. Meaning, I use the closed cell pad to create additional structure in the pack. The concept here is sort of, I guess, what would be called a trash can method. You're using your closed cell foam pad, you're creating a trash can that then everything goes into. Now, I have one more pad. It's what I'm standing on. And this pad is what gets the most use during the day. Use it as a sit pad. So that goes strapped out on the back. But the 2 closed cell foam pads I put in and use as structure. And now I'll use a liner. This is the, forget the name of this. But any trash bag will do. I like the clear ones. So laundry bags work well for this. Now, I kind of fluctuate between what I put in first. Usually the lightest thing, well, always the lightest thing, but I got a lot of light things. Today, I think I'll put my Gatewood cape. Put that in first. Now my back, my sleeping bag. So this is my pillow. Normally I would just use a stuff sack with clothes in it and stuff. But the problem is, a lot of times I gotta wear those clothes to stay warm. And you say, well, why don't you use your food? But yeah, come on. I do, but that has problems as well, because your food gets all smashed up, starts tearing through the plastic bags that they're in. So, there's probably big controversy amongst the ultralighters with a pillow, a blow-up pillow. But I think that they're a wonderful addition. You use this and whatever else you can put in there to make it more like a pillow. And what I really like about this is it's adjustable. So if I want to sleep on my side, I can blow it up all the way. Or if I feel like sleeping on my back, I can let some air out. I'd be tempted to even use 2 of these. But, yeah, I said tempted. So anything that's sort of heavyish, now it gets put to the back of the pack. You want more of the heavier stuff up. Like I said, same thing in a diagonal. Heavy stuff goes here. Light stuff goes into this diagonal. So heavy stuff, light stuff. I'm sorry, light stuff in this diagonal. Light stuff in this diagonal. Woo, boy, it is morning. Light stuff in this diagonal. There we go. And then heavy stuff in this diagonal right here. Make sense? Okay. I don't think I've seen anyone use any other methodology. There's argument as to where the bulk of the weight should be. My argument is as high up and as back as possible, so it lines up with your hips. So if you're carrying a lot of weight, then that weight is directed towards the hip belt. And this is the water bags. This is what I gotta fill these up. So yes. Why am I carrying a bunch of maps just to go get water? Because these maps are expensive. That's over $100 in physical maps. And they're really hard to get, especially the USGS maps. I can't find them. You can't find them on USGS website. You can't find them in the stores. Very hard to find. If anybody out there knows a good source for USGS maps, physical maps, big ones, not little ones, big ones, 7.5 minute maps, let me know. Because everything's going digital on the GPS, which is ridiculous. All right, what else? All right, I think it's time for the tent to go in there. All right, we're making some headway. Yeah, we are making some headway here. This looks huge, doesn't it? These are so light. I think these are aluminum. I found 2 or 3 of these and replaced the titanium ones that I had, which were much heavier. And then, yes. Oh my God, I can't believe I just dropped the mic on that I have mount on. I use these titanium shepherd hooks, and they work. I mean, if they don't work, then nothing else is going to work either. You're usually going to resort to tying off on logs or rocks. Yes, we are putting on our sandals today. Oh, I heard a good tip on wearing these sandals. I really do love them. I just need to learn how to walk more mindfully. Yeah. Is you don't cinch them up tight. Let them kind of float on your feet. Very cool. I'm so sorry, microphone. And everyone that may have affected. Yeah, this Six Moons Gatewood and the Serenity tent. I love them. I love the modularity and whatnot of this. Now, if this challenge goes on into the winter, I'm probably gonna have to rather buy another tent, a 4-season tent, or use my REI 3-season tent and just maybe reinforce it with a tarp. I also got some really good news. My Patagonia belay parka, which is my main warmth layer, especially for winter. I sent it into Patagonia and I got a notice that they received it. And now it's just a matter of waiting for them to repair it and send it back. It's going to take a while, but that's very good news. That's a very effective, it's the most effective warmth layer I've ever worn. And it's not down. It's some other sort of technology they're using. I've been tempted to use it just to in place of a sleeping bag. It's that warm. It's also kind of long, so you could use like a half sleeping bag. I don't know if you've seen those, but they're just a half sleeping bag, and then you use your down jacket as the upper portion. If you're familiar with if you're a climber, or if you're familiar with climbing, a lot of that gear has been pioneered by climbers, because belaying somebody unexposed in high elevation, brutal, the wind and the cold and whatnot. So yeah, a lot of that gear works out really well for just standard winter gear. Now I'm gonna leave this out. Sometimes I'll stuff the ground sheet and sometimes I will fold it. And today I'm going to fold it because I'm probably going to use it to rest on this afternoon. I don't want to have to unpack the whole pack just to get to it, so I'll just fold it up and put it in a pocket. Yeah. I've usually used Tyvek, but I'm really digging this. I forget the name of it right now. I'm digging it. I use this to protect the backpack from this stuff kind of abrading, yeah, from wearing through. So I'd rather have it wear through the plastic bag, and then I can just replace the plastic bag rather than it wearing through the backpack and having to fix the backpack again. And because this is a carbon fiber, both the poles and the umbrella are made of carbon fiber, the weight can go out, which is good because the trekking pole stays, or whatever you call this holder, is out there. I think the assumption is you're going to use carbon fiber trekking poles, which is not really a great assumption because they're expensive and relatively fragile. I like trekking poles, but I don't like having to carry them. I don't want anything in my hands when I'm hiking. I think it comes from skating. Yeah. I tried a scooter and ate it a couple times really bad. And it's because I didn't have my hands. My hands were occupied. So, yeah, I like my hands free and whatnot. All right, well, I'm almost packed now, and I'm gonna finish packing up and get out of here and go fetch some water. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me this morning. And yeah, it's day 103 that I've been living out here in the wilderness, and we're going to be doing a big section of, well, the entire Tahoe section of the PCT. We're doing that soon. I'm bringing you with me. So, yeah, stay tuned. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe. That really motivates me and the algorithms, apparently. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. All right.